the ancient king of Israel. Solomon, he was known for his wisdom and often mentioned in the Bible and even Qur'an. But this video will not be about religion, but about the Salamon paradox and the weekly habit that I learned from the man who allegedly built a net worth of over $2 trillion. And I hold the belief that I not could, but should learn from people who are better than me at something. And even though I did over $3 million in revenue with my business, King Solomon was clearly better than me at building wealth. So let's discover the secrets from one of the richest men ever lived that nobody seems to talk about. And it all started from the Salamon paradox, which goes like this. Solomon's wisdom helped him deal with other people's problems effectively, but he lacked the personal wisdom to live his own life well. So in simple terms, and you may recognize this, we are much better at solving other people's problems than solving our own. We often give great advice to those around us, but we're not following that advice ourselves. And you probably start laughing right now because you know this is true. And Alex Hormozi, who's an entrepreneur that I look up to and built a net worth of over $100 million himself, had this to say about the reason behind the paradox.
But what we do know is that people give better advice than they follow. And so if you pair that concept with the idea that no one has more context on your life than you do, then you have a very powerful combo.
This combo of giving great advice to others, times having all the context about your life, more than anyone else, plus aligned incentives, equals to self-accountability. And finding this framework early in my life is honestly a blessing because it's so hard to hold yourself accountable. I struggle with this, and it's exactly what I was missing in my life, and I think in yours too. Because as much as I want to be different, we're probably very similar. So Alex inspired me to implement this weekly habit, which is basically asking questions to my 85-year-old self. And this is what Alex had to say about his experience talking to his older self.
He's always making fun of me. But beyond that, I get really, really clear answers from someone who wants truly just my best.
And if I can only use 2 words to describe my coaching session from last week, I would describe it as enlightening and emotional. Because nobody ever really thank me for all the hard work that I'm doing right now. But that man did. My 85-year-old said, "Thank you, Jordan." And I really felt that. I encourage you to do the same. If I were you, I would get my phone right now and schedule a 30 to 60 minute meeting with myself into my calendar later this week. And when the time comes, you imagine your 85-year-old self and start chatting with him. I do it in Ocean, but it could be anywhere. And one of the questions that I asked him was, what will matter to me when I'm your age? Another great question to ask that I got from Alex is, what do I believe to be true that isn't? By the way, if you want to know more practical things like this, I share them in my free newsletter. The rest of my conversation is private, but try it out. I think 90% of the people watching this won't do it, but I hope you are one of the few who at least experiments and finds it as valuable as me and Alex, because after all,
this person has 2 things that no therapist has. They have complete context on my situation, and they have completely aligned incentives. And there's no one else in the entire world who has that.
It gave me a moment to pause everything around me and just stand still. And in last week, I asked, like, what will I regret when I'm on my deathbed? So I can prevent it. I'll be doing it weekly from now on. And honestly, I'm very excited for the next one already, which is tomorrow. You see, in my position as the leader of my company, nobody holds me accountable. I don't have a board of directors yet. And I know that we as people need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. Because you already know how to get fit, healthy, or make more money. So for those who don't want to invest in any coaching or mentors, which is, by the way, a great shortcut to learn faster, be a mentor to yourself for free so you don't fall for the Salamon paradox. And you start taking action on the advice that you would normally give to others. And remember, start living your life like it is a documentary, because it is. Someone is just not filming you yet. Subscribe for more.